Hey everyone, it's Cobalt here, and we have arrived at Thursday. I think I might be nearing a bit of a plateau. It's just like, I think I'm kind of in the mix now. I got my daily things that I do, and it's kind of like a little bit repetitive, so yeah, the best I could come up with today was just maybe like to update you on all the things, which I guess I do every day, but more of a just description about the minutia, I guess, of what is to be accomplished. So before I really get into that, I do want to say I forgot this one metric that I wanted to document every month, which is how many subscribers I have. So at the time that I recorded my February numbers, earlier this week, I think that was on Monday. Has it only been a week? Yeah, it's the first week of March. Okay, I was like, what's happening? What is... The math isn't mathing. Okay, yeah, so on Monday I recorded February numbers, and the metric I forgot was subscriber count. So at the time of filming, I had 20 subscribers. I believe January ended around 8, though I haven't actually checked that. But yeah, just a little bit of growth. That was cool to see. I think I'm at like 22 right now. I don't know how many of that is people from the group, but hey, I'll take what I can get. Is that like the size of a minibus? I'm not sure. Have we hit the size of a classroom yet? I don't know. Okay, but anyways, I digress. In terms of accountability, I actually did everything I said I was gonna do yesterday. It's nice to see that that was all recorded. I felt this sense of like accountability for all of my viewers and myself to be like, okay, yes, doing all of my house chores is really important for my brain to be able to keep going. So was able to knock out most of that stuff in the morning, and then I had the afternoon to do the rest of it work-wise. Also, just so you guys know, I usually use AI for thumbnails, and I had fun yesterday when I was editing the video. I realized I talked about fur and dogs, and so immediately I was like, am I Cruella DeVille? Like, that was a happy accident. So I was like, okay, let me just like put that as the thumbnail. And it took a while. Usually the AI thumbnails come pretty quickly, but it took a while for AI to figure out how to use my face, color my hair, and give me like a fur coat and black nails. They just kept making me into Glenn Close, basically. I was like, no, you're doing it wrong. I still want glasses. I still want my face. Anyways, so apparently you guys love seeing me in drag, which is what it felt like, honestly, when I put that together, because it's only been like a day and I think I have like 70 views on that video, which is like amazing because usually I'm at like 5 to 8 views on videos. So I know I didn't really care, I guess, when I started, but it is kind of cool to see like, okay, people don't mind hearing me ramble about my day and growing the business, and maybe this is helpful, or maybe they just like seeing me in drag holding a furry bunny and they want to know what is going on. So yeah, I do kind of like those moments where I can feel a little bit creative and express that, even if it's just as simple as a thumbnail or writing a silly description about how I'm basically Cruella DeVille and me like complaining about the dogs that I so badly wanted in my house. Anyways, we're a human, right? We're humans, and sometimes we just have to complain about things so that we can get it out of our bodies, of our minds, and then do the things. Okay, so in terms of doing the things, man, I'm like really killing it with transitions. I finally listed and processed the puppets. The puppets in here, right? It's like a plastic sleeve that zips on the side and then comes apart this way. So the plastic sleeve, this cardboard box was flattened, and then the puppet came separately, and there was like a bunch of different accessories. Like this guy had some glasses and some like alternative hair that's green. It all came in like one box, right? And so it was all mixed together. And I don't really know about puppets. So I went to the original listing where I found the puppets, and this guy, it was his collection of Whatnot characters from Feo Schwarz. I don't actually know how to pronounce it, so I'm just going to say Feo. When he made the listing to sell them, he had put each puppet with their accessories. So I went back to that post, which lived in a Facebook group, and I was referencing the photo to then put the puppet accessory and box together and then photo them onto eBay. And I had this bright idea, like, okay, yes, I'm going ahead and photoing and listing them, but I should see if there's other people on this thread that expressed interest in buying any of them, and then just messaging them and seeing if they're interested. And the benefit of this is if they are interested and I can make a deal off of eBay, that just saves me a bunch on fees. So I was the first person to comment on this thread, and I didn't negotiate the guy. It was actually very fair. It was 4 puppets for $100 plus whatever shipping would be. Shipping for me ended up being around an additional $50. I was like, that's great. I will happily buy 4 puppets for $100. And I had it in my business savings, right? I didn't negotiate. I just sent the guy a message and was like, can send you the money today. Let's do the deal. And he was like, great. Like, of course, you're going to pick somebody who just doesn't hassle you and makes it as easy as possible, right? And yeah, there was a little bit of a fear, I guess, for me that he wouldn't send me them or he would send me a box of rocks. But, you know, I was able to use like Venmo, goods and services to cover myself. But then also because of the group, it's like basically a group of people who make these puppets. They use Feo Schwarz and others like it to create their own Kermits. Like, these people are creators, maybe nerdy. Like, I can bet on the nerds as somebody who's been labeled a nerd. I don't really view myself as a nerd. I view myself as weird. Or which may be the same thing. I don't know. I just felt like there was some level of trust. I'm like, whatever. So anyways, bought all the puppets. They came to me and has been sitting in my office being like, please take us out and photo us. And haven't gotten around to it. So anyways, okay, so finally got around to it. Was looking on the thread. Ended up finding a few people who wanted individual puppets. So I went ahead and messaged them, like, hey, are you still interested? Happy to do a deal on Venmo. I have the puppets. I bought the collection. And sent that all. It was like 11:30 at night when I was doing this. So like, I know that they're probably not gonna get the message right away. And also, I'm probably existing in their spam folder because I'd never messaged them before. So I was like, you know what? Instead of waiting for the money, let me just go ahead and post them on eBay. So another great thing about this group is I was able to learn that the green Muppet is actually hard to find. And I was always under the impression that the blue one was hard to find because whenever I picked up a blue Muppet character, even if it wasn't made by Feo, it sold for me really well. Anyways, found the green one, listed it on eBay. I was like, okay, well, I'll just price it higher than the rest of them. Ironically, this one also had some damage on the head. Whoever made the puppet actually glued it down, the hair. So it was starting to separate a little bit. But hey, I think people still buy these things to craft with them and change out the accessories. So like, clearly that didn't matter. So anyways, I listed it for $150 with $50 shipping. And I ended up taking an offer within an hour of me listing. Again, this was 11:30 at night when I listed this thing. Like, I was like, okay, just have to list it. Like, have to get my listings up before midnight. So anyways, accepted an offer for $110 and they paid $50 shipping. So my total for that transaction after fees and shipping, I've almost made back what I spent on the collection. So I'm basically in the green now with the other 3. And yeah, man, it just feels good because that was the first time I have taken from business savings, and it's like, boom, made back my money. And I kind of had this like aha moment where I was like, okay, this is what my coach was wanting me to do with the Disney pins that I was selling for a while. Like, find the group that there's a line around the building of people who want to buy, and then sell to them and don't have to pay fees on eBay, and then just keep it going. I know one of the people I messaged on Facebook, she was looking for the green puppet and she was willing to pay $70. And I knew that because that's what she said in the thread to the original poster, right? So I messaged her, I'm like, hey, are you still interested in this green puppet for $70? Happy to do a deal on Venmo and, just pay for shipping. And then the green one was the one that sold for $110. So this person's probably going to be disappointed once if they find the message and reach out. Like, I'll have to tell them like, okay, sorry, I actually sold it. But the good news here is that now I know somebody who's looking for a green puppet that is willing to pay up to $70. So if I can source another green puppet in the world that's less than $70, I can then flip it to that person and just turn over my money really fast. And I think this is something the coach has been trying to get us to do. And I have just, not only have I figured it out and I heard him and I implemented, but like I have done it now in 2 different niches and I see how it works and I see how to do it, and it has worked for me. Like, I can just copy paste basically this whole thing. So it worked for puppets, right? Okay, now I went ahead and looked for a Douglas group. So Douglas they sell a lot of animals, and it also has blown up recently on TikTok. And that's kind of something with plush, is you have to see what's in the news and then implement it into your business. So in front of me now, I have about 10 Douglas plushes. Not all of them hit my metrics. I'm probably going to bundle the ones that don't. But I went ahead and went to this Douglas group, right? Of people who are looking for Douglas animals. And if I have an animal that somebody's looking for, I can just message them and be like, I have one. What do you want to pay? Great. You want to pay $50? Cool. That works for me because I paid $3 for it. Like, I don't care. So I'm just going to message these people, sell it, one-on-one. And then I'll be like, okay, they like Douglas. Maybe they're looking for another character. Okay, you're looking for a penguin? Great. When I'm in the thrift, if I find a penguin, I'll just sell that to you. Sometimes I just see these visions. Like, it's like That's So Raven show, where it's like I see myself as this like pyramid, and I'm just like, doo, and then it's like it just busts out. There's all this blue light, and it's like the Illuminati is having this like breakthrough moment. That's what I feel like is happening right now in my brain, just like talking out loud about this and seeing how amped I am to even describe it to you. Like, oh, I figured out something. I figured out something that's repeatable, and I can copy and paste it for all these other brands that I find. So I'm not just stuck selling on eBay. I can sell to the individual, and just happy days. Thanks so much, guys, for listening. This might be a testament to my mind being more clear because I don't have a messy house anymore, and I don't have a box of puppets. So off we go into the next day. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.